Yo, what up, you guys? This is Eric from RC Productions, and today I am going to be talking about why I regret buying the TRAXXAS UDR. So let's get it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the first reasons why I regret buying the TRAXXAS UDR. So the first reason is the truck is majority meant for scale driving. You know, TRAXXAS puts it out on the display that the truck is only meant for scale purposes and scale desert riding. But you know, I've taken it to a few different places where I live, and it's mostly hard compact, but I've taken it to snow and I've taken it to some rocks, and I gotta say, the truck does not like any other terrain than just hard packed desert. The truck isn't the greatest for jumping. I have experienced some issues with jumping, no matter if I change the springs or change the oil or whatever. The truck is not a basher at any level, just not a good basher for general purposes. I take it to a track here, and you know, it's a hard packed track, and it did all right. You know, I'll give it to that. It did all right. It handled the jumps decently well. It handled the whoops pretty good. But when it came to those burns and it came to those jumps, it just didn't cut it. You know, no matter if I took out the sway bars, if I took out the front sway bar, if I was running the hot racing rear sway bar, you know, the trucks didn't like going fast into the turns and into the jumps. So, you know, this is just my personal experience. I don't know if you guys just have it different. I don't know if you guys are just running different setups, or you're like me who's running pretty much stock major components. But that is the first reason why I regret buying the TRAXXAS UDR. So the second reason why I regret buying the truck is the parts and the cost of all the parts for the truck. The parts and upgrades for the truck are pretty expensive for an RC truck, if you ask me. You know, I'm coming from a slash, so I'm coming for those dirt cheap parts, but even then, the truck itself costs $730, which is definitely a steep price for most people that are looking into to get to the hobby. So for example, these rear upper links, those are I believe $50 to $60, and the toe links as well. Those are just basic upgrades you can do to the truck, and even then, if you look at the truck from here, I haven't done anything too major done to it. You know, I've done some small stuff like wheels and tires, you know, some shock stuff, but it's all cosmetic basically. But the parts and upgrades for the truck are definitely a hard pill to swallow. You know, some companies out there that make upgrades definitely mark the parts value up a lot for the truck. You know, but you're getting good parts for that money, so you got to give to them that some of the brands out there that make good aluminum parts definitely know what they're doing. But you know, in my opinion, I don't think aluminum parts are worth it for the truck unless you're just leaving on the shelf. Just my opinion, guys, just my opinion, because if you follow me on the internet and social media, you'll see that I used to run an aluminum brand upper A-arms and trailing arms and some other pieces, and I didn't like them. You know, I had a bad experience with aluminum stuff. The fitment and the quality just wasn't all the way there, and I just went back to plastic, and ever since then, I love it. So that is one reason why I regret buying the truck. So another major reason why I don't like the truck is it rolls very, very easy in the corners, and even in a straight line, even if you hit something, it just rolls really easy. The truck isn't too stable from time to time. I know my car sits a little bit higher than others, but even then I have it tuned where I can do some stuff with it just for general purpose riding. But yeah, it definitely rolls a lot, which is pretty annoying, because you know, the more rolls you have, the more effectiveness it's gonna have on your body, and I can definitely tell. Right now I have the body off just to show you guys the car, but the truck definitely likes to roll. Even when I did have my hot racing sway bar, and I was running no sway bar at the time, but back then it's still rolled, and that's just one kind of annoying thing about this truck. I know it's very common for the bigger trucks to just tip and roll, but I think, in my opinion, that TRAXXAS should have you know, did more testing on the truck. But that is just my opinion. I don't know if you guys might be different. So leave in the comments. I want to hear what you guys think about my opinion about the truck and personally why I think the truck wasn't worth it from the start. So the next point I am going to get into is the weak points on the truck. I've upgraded most of the weak points on the truck because I just didn't want to go out there and have to worry about parts giving out. So the first thing I did was a Savox servo. My stock servo gave out very quickly in the early stages of the truck. I believe it was probably one of the couple rides I had with it from the get-go that the servo gave out and just stopped working. You know, the gears were fine, it's just the servo just stopped working. So ever since then I upgraded to a Savox servo and I have not had any issues since then. The Savox servo is a great servo for the truck. It has plenty of power, and I will link the servo I got in the description. So the next point I upgraded was some wheels and tires. You know, that's not really a weak point, it's just something I did, and I found out these tires just work amazing, so make sure you guys get those. I also installed a TRAXXAS heavy duty front drive shaft. You can see it in there. It's a great drive shaft. I didn't break the stock one, but I just went ahead and upgraded the front. You know, it wasn't the most expensive thing in the world, so I just went ahead and did that, and no issues with that. So this is a major pro. I also did the diffs. Not did the diffs, but I re-maintenanced the differentials and the transmission, and those are actually pretty low, so that is one thing to point out when you're buying the truck, to do some maintenance before you go out there and run it. Another weak point is the rear trailing arms. You know, I can't say I've had a bad time with these because I haven't, but if you bash hard with the truck, I've seen on the forums that people just bend these, and I actually have a set of trailing arms that I got from a buddy that I will show you guys right now, in fact. Alrighty, so this is a stock trailing arm, and you can see here, this thing just tacoed and just straight up bent. So that is one of the major weak points on the truck. Whenever you crash and land hard, the truck will bend these and it won't track straight. So that's one major upgrade that you might want to do when you buy the truck. But if you're like me and you don't bash too hard and you don't send it too hard, you should be just fine. You know, I've had some fair hits with the truck and it's taken it just fine. So just watch out for the rear trailing arms because those will definitely bite you. So back to the front end, like I said earlier, I did upgrade my front tie rods to TRAXXAS heavy duty tie rods, and I installed them a couple months ago because my stock ones were a little bent from maybe a jump or something. So I went ahead and upgraded these and they've been flawless so far. It's just a small little upgrade I put in. And another very weak point on the truck is the wheel hexes. TRAXXAS puts plastic wheel hexes in the truck. You can't see it because the tires are on right now, but they come with a plastic wheel hex that strips out. I had a rear almost strip out. I was actually just at a hobby shop and I just went ahead and bought those without knowing that mine are stripped. So it was a good thing that I went ahead and picked up a aluminum wheel hex because my stock ones were about to strip out. So that is one of the major things you have to do to the truck before you go out there and bash hard. I run on 6S. I just like having that extra power just in case I need it. So those are pretty much it for the stock points. I know I didn't point out too many major parts because, like I said, I haven't had too many issues, but when I did, it definitely bit the budget. So those are the weak points for the TRAXXAS UDR. Another reason I regret buying the truck is the market for these. The buying and selling market for these are pretty bad, especially if you're selling like me. So FYI, this truck is for sale. So if you guys want to maybe buy the truck, I'll leave my info in the description in the video. So if you're curious on how much I'm asking, or any question about the truck, I'll leave my info in the description. But back to what I was saying, the selling market on these trucks, the resale for the trucks are pretty horrible. You definitely lose a lot of money on these trucks, especially this one for some reason, because I'm having a hard time selling, and even then I don't think my price is through the roof. So the selling point for these trucks are definitely pretty bad. I know a buddy recently bought a UDR with no batteries, just a truck and the remote, for $450 local in Arizona. So that's a little tough. I know all RCs are bound to lose money when you sell, but I think it's just part of the game. But for this truck in particular, having a real hard time selling. Even my old Slash I sold, I didn't have a hard time selling as much as this one is. So that's one thing I regret on not knowing before I bought the truck. So if I just keep a heads up on when you plan on buying a truck and if you have plans to sell in the future. Alright guys, so that is it for the video, you guys. So these are just my experiences with the truck, and I wouldn't say so much regret selling it, because I never regret selling an RC car, because they always give me happiness and joy. So I'll never say I really regret buying an RC car, but in this case it really beat me in the butt. I was expecting more from this truck and was expecting it to exceed my standards. I thought it was gonna be a real sick desert racer that could do anything, that's unstoppable. But all RCs have their points where they're not good at every single thing you expect them to do. But this truck has been through everything I put it through, and it's been a tough one. As you've seen the videos prior to this, I've taken it to different places, and recently I took it to some snow and it did alright. It was more of ice, but the truck took it pretty good, and it was a fun time. So if you guys have any questions, I'll leave my links in the description below, and make sure you guys subscribe, because sooner or later we are gonna make some content on these toys right here. So hopefully in the videos upcoming you'll see some different content, and maybe we'll go out and ride more, or we'll ride these, or we'll make more talking videos. So make sure you guys leave your opinions in the comments, because I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about my truck and on how crazy I am about talking trash about the truck. So without further ado, it has been real with you guys. So if you have any questions, like I said, my links are in the description below. So guys, that being said, I'll catch you guys later. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.